Hi guys, so glad to see you and so grateful to be spending this time with you. Today's reflection and practice will be surrounding broken boundaries. And we're going to be going over some side effects of broken boundaries, and then we're going to hold some space for ourselves and take some time to really support and care for whatever we may be dealing with. Let's start by defining what is a boundary. So a boundary is a limit that separates acceptable behavior from unacceptable behavior. And that definition encompasses boundaries that are imposed on us legally, right? And boundaries that we impose ourselves morally and physically, okay? So everybody has boundaries they have to respect and boundaries they want respected. So broken boundaries can come in a variety of ways and through a variety of people. So sometimes something happened and I felt my boundary break. And sometimes I didn't even know there was a boundary there until it was broken. And sometimes a boundary I was holding in place was purposely broken. So either way, we can be left feeling violated and deeply hurt. And we may not always be in an environment where we can voice our boundaries or our hurts, meaning you don't always feel like you can say no, depending on what's going on. Saying no for some is more of a privilege and not always a right. You may even be told that you're not even allowed to say no. And when you have tried to say no, it's not been respected, and you don't feel safe or heard, and you don't feel comfortable voicing the hurt that you hold inside of yourself because of your disrespected boundaries. There's no space for the aftermath. There's no space for accountability. That's a sign usually that we may be in a dysfunctional environment, right? Abusive home or relationship or even a job. A high control environment, guys, where everybody has to just follow the leader, and saying no is just asking for a fight. So many times the person or persons who broke and disrespected the boundaries, they refuse accountability and responsibility for their breach in trust and respect. And they may act like nothing happened, they don't know what you're talking about, and sometimes it can actually put you in a position where you feel like you need to pretend, right? Pretend that they didn't hurt you, that they didn't disrespect you and your boundaries. They may act like you don't even have the right to decide that you should have the right to set a parameter of safety, right? Around your space, your things, even your other relationships. You may feel like you have to pretend you're not angry, and they just expect you to get over it, right? Because they're emotionally immature and they haven't yet learned how to take responsibility for their actions. So they pretend. They may even act like they had the right to do whatever they did and refuse accountability that way. And to that, I just want to say, just because it's explainable doesn't mean that it's excusable. One thing in yoga that we are taught very early is that we can only change ourselves. We cannot control what other people do or how they behave, but we certainly have to deal with it, and it impacts us. So we hope they'll act like loving, responsible adults. But when we find ourselves being hurt by someone who doesn't care and we cannot get away from them, we have to create space and time to heal. And the mat is a great place to do that. The mat is a great place to cry. The mat is a place to allow the hurt, the pain, the lack of care that you suffered just wash over your spirit and your heart. And the mat is a great place to, practice taking control back into your own hands. Practice resetting those boundaries, reinforcing your no, even if it's only inside of your own heart, and you're echoing it in your own being. No, it wasn't okay. No, I'm not all right. No, you had no right. No, okay? So beating the drum of no, and then sitting and sorting through how you feel about what happened and who did it. So taking off the pretense while you sit with your spirit to really honor the shaking that you felt, the break of trust that you felt, the break in safety you now feel towards this person or persons, the anger you feel having to act like nothing happened when you're around them. Because every time you've tried to bring it up, maybe they say, oh, that again, or can't you just move on? Or, they always get out of it somehow. So, the mat is a great place to really take all of that off and to cry, to breathe, to let things naturally flow through you, however difficult it may be. And the mat is a place that belongs to you, and you're not forced or required to censor yourself here. So depending on the boundary that was violated, connection to the space and connection to the body may not feel safe or comfortable. You may experience an aversion to closing the eyes and being in the body, because the body keeps score and our bodies remember deeply. And sometimes the body is screaming too loud and too strongly, so we actually have to temper that connection and move very slowly in order not to overwhelm ourselves and disassociate. I would like to invite you to practice a visualization with me, and you can do this practice sitting up or lying down, eyes open or shut, depending on how you're feeling. And use whatever props you have, guys. Pillows, blankets, hot water bottles, warm socks, sweaters, eye pillows, whatever you need and whatever would add to your comfort and your care, right? Sometimes it feels good to have a blanket and to be physically covered when you're reeling from a violated boundary, whether it was emotional or physical, because the covering can help soothe and provide sometimes a sense of safety, right? And the idea here is to create a safe container using our mats and our mind's eye so that we can get some space from whatever has happened and really start processing the aftermath of it. Okay, guys, so get comfortable and cozy, however that looks for you. Sitting up, lying down, blanket, all the props. We're going to begin by just connecting to the space of the mat. Okay, guys, so wherever you are, however you want to do it, lying down or sitting up, no sweat, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start connecting to the mat, right? We're going to, whatever parts of our body are being supported by the mat, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start bringing our awareness to that. Noticing the stability of the mat underneath us, of the earth holding us up. Oftentimes in situations that have broken our boundaries, we tend to feel dropped. And so using the earth and the mat as a place of safety and structure of stability, feeling totally and fully supported, knowing that you cannot be dropped here, that this is a safe place for you to acknowledge, process, feel, and grieve over what happened. We're going to go ahead and envision a bright, beautiful, warm, glowing light that completely surrounds our space. And we want to leave a breath's distance between the light and ourself. But we want to envision it completely surrounding and protecting us, giving us a sense of privacy as we connect to how we're really feeling. Maybe we feel warmth coming from the light. Maybe that light has definition and sparkles or texture to it. And keeping all of that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring our awareness to the chest, the front and the back. But right now we're just going to start with the back. So it is said that we give love from the front and we receive love through the back of the chest. And when we have been disrespected and our boundaries have been violated, and maybe our physical person has been, we really feel it deeply, and we don't tend to nurture the back of our chest very often, right? But for right now, if we could just sit and feel the back of the chest, the back of the heart, and just notice any sensation that might be there. Noticing any vulnerability that might be present in the back of the chest near the heart. Noticing if there's any ache or groan coming from the back of the chest. Maybe it would feel good here to have a blanket wrapped around the back, just so you feel less exposed, and you can feel a feeling of safety, of protection and covering over you. But taking this moment to sit with the feelings, sit with the hurting, maybe sitting with the confusion and of why this person or persons did what they did to you. Sometimes we really want to know why. How could you? So allowing all of that to just be present in this space with you, knowing that you're okay. And gently releasing the back of the chest, we're going to go ahead and move to the front of the chest. And you may be feeling different sensations in the front of the chest than in the back. There's no judgment here. There's no way that it should look or no way it should be. So really taking a sacred pause here to really go into the feelings of the front of the chest and see what this part of your body, what the front of your body is saying that may be different from the back of your body, what it was saying. Really taking the time here to hold the heart even, and to whisper love and encouragement back into your heart, and letting your heart know that you acknowledge that it's hurting and you're not pushing it off to the side. You're You're sitting with it, you're acknowledging it. Really appreciate what your heart's been through, and sitting with the devastation that the other person may not accept responsibility for what they did, but you're acknowledging to yourself that it happened. You're sitting with it, and from here, we're going to go ahead and tenderly and gently release the chest and the heart. And we're going to bring our awareness down to our belly button. And we're going to sit with the belly button and just pay attention to how our body is breathing right now. Right? In times of stress, our breath can get dysregulated and can be off course. It can be caught, it could be choppy. And so we want to just notice. We don't want to change the breathing yet. We just want to notice how the body is naturally breathing on its own. Our breath can really be our stability, and learning to pay attention to how the body is breathing can be really helpful if something's wrong or off course, to create a little bit more stability in the body and in the mind as well. From here, we're going to just go ahead and we're going to start taking control of the breath to create a relaxing quality in our mind and in our nervous system. We're going to be breathing in and out the nostrils. And so we're going to be breathing in for 4 seconds, retaining the breath for 2 seconds, exhaling for 8 seconds, and then pausing the breath out for 2 seconds. Okay, and we'll do about 4 rounds or so. And we're going to just clean the slate, and we're going to take a deep inhale through both nostrils. And we're going to open the mouth, sigh it out. Exhale. We're going to go ahead and we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the top for 2, 1. Exhale out nostrils for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause the breath out for 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top for 2, 1. Exhale out nostrils for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause the breath out for 2, 1. Inhale through nostrils for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in for 2, 1. Exhale out nostrils for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause the breath out for 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top for 2, 1. Exhale out nostrils for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the breath out for 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and inhale through both nostrils, fully and deeply, and then open the mouth, exhale. We're going to go ahead and move into the last phase of our practice together, and that will be words of affirmation. And we're going to be whispering 3 different phrases into our heart and into our minds, acknowledging that, we may be the only support person we have, in our environment or around us. And so we really want to take the job seriously, and we want to respect the need to be validated and affirmed, just like anybody else. And so we'll go ahead and we'll start with the first phrase, which is, I matter. I matter. I matter. And the second phrase we'll be whispering to ourselves is, I am doing the best I can. I am doing the best I can. I am doing the best I can. The last phrase that we'll be affirming ourselves with is, I will get through this. I will get through this. I will get through this. And from here, we'll release the affirmation, and we'll take a big inhale through both nostrils. Open the mouth, exhale. Sigh it out and flutter open those eyelids, and take a breath to reorient to the space as you prepare to get up and move and go about the rest of your day. And so I would like to leave you with a quote, and it's by Mark Groves, and it reads, walls keep everybody out. Boundaries teach them where the door is. So look, guys, it's natural to want to put up walls, right, after we've been hurt, and sometimes it's necessary for a while. But hopefully, right, we can get to a place where the walls aren't up for everyone, and we can, start to let people in as we rebuild ourselves and as we heal a little bit. Okay, so I'd like you to remember that you guys are a blessing. You are a blessing, and you're not alone. So much love, guys. Namaste.